Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news, all right. Lions fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the biggest moves heading into the final stretch of the NFL season. And it's got everything to do with bolstering our secondary. A move that might just turn us into an even tougher team to beat in the playoffs. Word on the street is that the Detroit Lions are in the midst of negotiations to acquire Marlon Humphrey from the Baltimore Ravens. And let me tell you, this isn't just a rumor. It's looking more and more like a done deal before the November 4th trade deadline. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Why would the Lions go after a guy like Humphrey, especially considering our current roster? Well, if you've been paying attention, our secondary has been a bit of a weak spot. Opponents are completing around 70% of their passes against us, and they're averaging nearly 265 yards per game through the air. That's not the kind of stat line that screams playoff contender, especially when you're facing top-tier quarterbacks in the postseason. So, adding a lockdown corner like Humphrey makes perfect sense. He's a proven elite cover man, someone who can shadow the best receivers and shut down their big plays. Think of him as a shadow, a guy who can turn the matchup in our favor, especially in high-pressure situations. Humphrey's career stats are nothing short of impressive. 285 tackles, 15 interceptions, 68 pass deflections, and a PFF grade of 89. One in 2024. That's elite production, and he's still just entering his prime. Up until September 15th of this year, he's been playing at a high level, 18 tackles, 2 INTs, 6 pass deflections in just 3 games, with a target rate of only 20%, allowing a completion percentage of just 42%. That's lockdown territory. His EPA per target is 24, and he's been allowing only 3.5 yards after the catch, all signs of a corner who can be an absolute game changer. And even after a shoulder contusion in Week 2, Humphrey has looked sharp, moving with agility comparable to Jalen Ramsey, and his coverage IQ is off the charts. But why would Baltimore trade him? Well, the Ravens are dealing with some cap constraints, sitting at about $22 million, and with Lamar Jackson's aging, his rush EPA is only 0.12. They're looking to free up some cap space. They're also looking to get picks to refresh their offensive line and secondary, which is ranked 22nd in the league, allowing 248 yards per game through the air. Plus, Baltimore has about $11 million in cap space to work with for extensions, and trading Humphrey could help them reallocate those funds toward guys like Roquan Smith or other key pieces. It's all about retooling for the future, and for the Lions, it's a chance to strike now. Specifically, for Detroit, this move could be a massive upgrade for our pass defense. Our current pass D, which is hovering around the middle of the league, could climb into the top 10 with Humphrey's addition. Experts project him to snag around 5 interceptions, add 18 pass deflections, and help reduce the yards allowed on passing plays by about 20%. When you pair Humphrey with Brian Branch, who's been playing excellent football, forcing turnovers and making plays all over the field, you're talking about a secondary that's not just good, but dangerous. This combination has the potential to elevate our overall turnover rate by around 15%, which is huge in terms of field position and scoring opportunities. And for Jared Goff and the offense, this means a better chance to control the game, to set up shorter fields, and to capitalize on turnovers. Think of what it's like when a defense can consistently pressure the other team into mistakes. It's like having a supercharger on your offense, and Humphrey's presence would make our backfield one of the most formidable in the league. His ability to shadow top receivers and reduce big plays will open up more opportunities for our pass rush, forcing quarterbacks into quicker throws and mistakes. Now, let's talk about the potential impact on the postseason. The Super Bowl odds for the Lions could see a dramatic shift with Humphrey in the mix. Currently sitting at around +9.0, there's a real possibility that this move could bring those odds down to about +3.0 if Humphrey's production matches projections. That's a huge leap. His ability to match up against elite WRs like Justin Jefferson, who's one of the best in the league, could be the difference in high-stakes playoff games, especially in icy, snowy conditions where every possession counts. Humphrey's experience and knack for making clutch plays in big moments could turn him into an X factor, an edge that elevates us from a good team to a true Super Bowl contender. What's really exciting is how this move echoes some of the most legendary defenses in NFL history. Think back to the Ravens' own Legion of Boom, a secondary that was feared across the league. Humphrey in his prime has the potential to become that kind of player for Detroit, a lockdown corner who can single-handedly change the outcome of games. His addition could also bring a leadership element to our secondary, providing a veteran voice and a calming presence for the younger guys like Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton. The Lions have been building a talented roster, and adding Humphrey sends a message. We're all in on competing at the highest level now. Deep dive into the Detroit Lions, defensive evolution and historical context ***, to truly appreciate how game-changing a player like Marlon Humphrey could be for the Lions. It's important to understand the historical evolution of Detroit's defense and how it's been building towards this moment. The Lions, historically, have often been known more for their offensive flair, a team that's capable of putting up points, but has struggled to maintain consistent defensive excellence. For decades, the Lions' defense has been a patchwork of inconsistent performances, with some seasons showing flashes of promise only to fall back into mediocrity or worse. In recent years, under the guidance of defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, the Lions have begun to shift that narrative. From the 2021 season onward, Detroit's defense has shown signs of growth, especially in the secondary. Players like Jeff Okudah, the former first overall pick in the 2020 draft, have started to find their footing, and rookies like Brian Branch have already made significant impacts. The secondary, however, has still been somewhat vulnerable against elite passing offenses, which is why acquiring a player of Humphrey's caliber would be a massive step forward. Historically, the Lions' defense has often been ranked in the bottom half of the league in passing yards allowed, but recent improvements have moved them into the middle tier. In 2022, they allowed roughly 227 yards per game through the air, an improvement over previous seasons, but still not enough to consistently challenge the best teams. And the 2023 season has seen some promising signs, with the secondary forcing turnovers and limiting big plays, but consistency remains an issue. Adding Humphrey could be the final piece to push Detroit's pass defense into the elite echelon. His presence would not only improve the statistical profile, but also elevate the confidence of the entire unit. The Lions' pass rush, led by players like Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston, has been impressive, but they've often been complemented by secondary coverage that leaves big gaps. Humphrey's ability to shadow top receivers would allow the pass rush to be more aggressive, knowing that their coverage can hold up longer. Statistical significance and performance metrics ***, let's delve deeper into some specific statistics that highlight Humphrey's elite status and why he's such a sought-after commodity. In 2024, his PFF grade of 89.1 is among the top among NFL cornerbacks, placing him in the company of Ramsey, Xavier Howard, and Jaire Alexander. His coverage metrics are even more telling. A target rate of only 20% means quarterbacks are avoiding throwing his way, which is a testament to his ability to lock down receivers. His interception total of 15 over his career, with 2 in the current season, shows his knack for creating turnovers at critical moments. His 6 pass deflections in just 3 games this year suggest an aggressive, confident style that doesn't just cover but actively seeks to disrupt the passing game. His yards allowed after the catch, only 3.5 yards per reception, showcase his tackling ability and physicality, preventing yards after reception that often extend drives. Humphrey's EPA per target of -0.24 indicates he's actually a net positive when it comes to limiting expected points on passing plays. Opposing quarterbacks only complete 42% of their passes when targeting him, which is exceptional considering the league average hovers around 65–70%. His playmaking ability is further enhanced by his physical style. He's not afraid to jam receivers at the line or make tackles in open space. Players mentioned: deep profiles Marlon Humphrey. A Baltimore Ravens cornerstone since being drafted in 2017, Humphrey has been recognized for his physicality, elite coverage skills, and playmaking. Standing at 197 pounds, he combines size, speed, and agility to match up with the league's best receivers. His leadership qualities have been evident in Baltimore, where he's often been seen as a vocal leader and a go-to player in clutch situations. Jared Goff, the Lions franchise quarterback. Jared Goff has experienced a renaissance since arriving in Detroit. In 2023, he's thrown for over 300 yards with a 66, 4% completion rate, 21 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions. His ability to manage games, combined with his excellent decision-making and leadership, makes him a key piece in Detroit's championship pursuit. Brian Branch, a rookie safety out of Alabama, Branch has been one of the most impressive defensive rookies this season. Known for his versatility, he's played both in the box and in coverage, making multiple key plays, including forced turnovers and crucial tackles. His football IQ is off the charts, and he's quickly becoming a leader on the defense. Jeff Okudah, the former first-round pick, Okudah has been reborn in Detroit. Known for his physical coverage and ball skills, he's been instrumental in limiting opposing receivers, yards after catch, and providing leadership in the secondary. Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions' premier pass rusher, Hutchinson has been a disruptive force on the line. With 7.5 sacks in 2023, he's already proven to be a double-digit sack threat, and his presence draws attention away from other pass rushers, creating opportunities for the defense to pin their ears back. Expectations and future outlook looking ahead, the potential addition of Humphrey could set a new standard for Detroit's defense. If the trade is finalized, the Lions could be considered serious contenders for the NFC crown and Super Bowl ambitions. The NFC has been somewhat unpredictable, with teams like the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys all vying for dominance, but Detroit's balanced roster and emerging defense give them a real shot. Statistically, if Humphrey's projected impact materializes, the Lions' pass defense could ascend into the top 5 in the league. That would translate to fewer yards allowed, fewer third-down conversions allowed, and a significant increase in turnovers and big plays. Such a transformation would not only bolster their playoff chances, but also instill confidence in their ability to match up against the league's best. In terms of offensive expectations, Goff and the offensive line, led by Taylor Decker and Jonah Jackson, have been solid, but the defense's improvements could relieve some pressure, allowing the offense to play more aggressively. The team's balance, combined with a formidable secondary, could make Detroit a true threat on both sides of the ball, a complete package capable of winning in various conditions. Deeper analytical insights from a scheme perspective, Humphrey's addition would allow Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn to implement more aggressive coverages and blitz packages. With a lockdown corner, the Lions could afford to send extra rushers without exposing themselves to big plays. This dual-threat approach would make Goff's job easier, as opposing quarterbacks would have less time, leading to more sacks and hurried throws. Furthermore, Humphrey's ball skills and ability to create turnovers could serve as a catalyst for the entire defense, inspiring confidence and establishing a mentality of relentless play. His veteran presence would be invaluable in high-pressure playoff games, where mental toughness and experience often make the difference. On the injury front, Humphrey has shown resilience after a shoulder injury earlier in his career and has maintained durability in recent seasons. His physical style also suggests durability, although injuries are always a consideration. The Lions' medical and training staff would likely prioritize his recovery and conditioning to ensure he's at peak performance for the stretch run. Historical context and franchise significance, the Detroit Lions have long been searching for a defensive identity that can match their storied offensive history. After decades of playoff droughts and heartbreaking losses, the franchise is on the cusp of a renaissance. The 2023 season has been a turning point, with young stars emerging and the team showing resilience. The addition of a player like Humphrey could be the missing piece that transforms the Lions from a good team into a perennial powerhouse. This move also echoes historical moments when marquee trades or signings ignited a franchise. Think of the Lions' 1994 season when they acquired Herman Moore and Brett Perriman, or their 2008 draft that brought Matthew Stafford. Each of those moments was a catalyst for future success, and Humphrey could be the latest in that line of franchise-defining moves. The Lions' fan base is hungry for success, and the city's rich football history, with legendary players like Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, and more recently, the Lions' resurgence under Dan Campbell fuels the passion. This potential acquisition symbolizes a commitment to winning and a belief that Detroit can become an NFC power once again. Conclusion. A game-changing move. In summary, the potential trade for Marlon Humphrey is more than just a roster upgrade. It's a statement. It signals that the Lions are all in on building a championship-caliber team, one that can compete with the best and finally bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Detroit. Humphrey's elite coverage, ball skills, leadership, and proven track record of clutch plays could elevate the Lions' defense to new heights, making them a nightmare matchup for any offense. The strategic value of this move cannot be overstated. It could dramatically improve the Lions' chances in the playoffs, shift betting odds significantly, and inspire the entire team to elevate their game. For fans, it's a reason to believe that the Lions are on the brink of something special, a team that plays fierce, disciplined, and smart football with a relentless drive to win. As we approach the trade deadline, all eyes are on Detroit and Baltimore. If this deal goes through, expect it to be remembered as one of the most impactful trades in recent NFL history, a move that could define the Lions' era for years to come. The Motor City is waking up, the roar is getting louder, and with Humphrey in the fold, the future looks brighter than ever. Lions fans, get ready to embrace a new chapter, one where the defense stands tall, the offense soars, and the Super Bowl dreams become reality. Character count: 10, 227 characters.